sweet Lord in heaven, did this trigger me something fierce? So this video is likely going to contain a whole bunch of foul language, so just a heads up. Roll it.
You've been critical of your former boss, his temperament, his style, but in this case, in this effort to go after him, you defend him. You think this exonerates him?
Well, I felt as I started learning more and more about Russiagate, and I've said, this is one of the greatest injustices done to a presidential candidate and a president. And he was treated unfairly here. So he is vindicated as far as Russiagate is concerned.
You stop short there. Are you?
Well, I've had my differences with him. I've also said that I thought that he had great policies. He deserved a lot of credit for what he accomplished, and this was a grave injustice. And the fact that he was able to accomplish a lot in the face of it, I think, was a great achievement. I have other problems. I'm not supporting him for renomination, but he was right on this, and this is a vindication. He had it right from the beginning.
No shit, Sherlock. If you're accused of a crime and you're innocent, of course you'd fucking know. Dear God, what a stupid thing to say. This whole thing with the Durham report. Let's be realistic about this, shall we? The only people who know who John Durham even is, or who would take the report seriously, are the people who knew the whole Russia thing was complete BS from the bloody get-go, and who have known this for years. So you're preaching to the choir, pal. Is the exact same thing as what I said yesterday with the Twitter files. The exposés, such as they were, is just reaffirming what anyone skeptical already knew. It's the impotence of free speech in action. Oh look, here is a treasure trove of golden information. It's fantastic! Is anyone going to be held accountable? Is anything going to change? Those noisemakers in the house, Jim Jordan, Josh Hawley, Matt Gaetz, are they going to do absolutely anything whatsoever? No. So who freaking cares? Let me rant on this whole situation, if I may. Next to the coup years, this was probably my biggest eye-opener for just how stupid people really are. I remember round about, must have been 2015, 2016, Bill Clinton's most regrettable sexual encounter said that she wants a no-fly zone over Syria, and some military officials said this would require ground troops and would very, very likely culminate in a military confrontation with Russia. This thing was in favor of regime change in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Libya, and now Syria, and a likely entanglement sometime along the road in the future with Russia. This was the potential Clinton administration's neocon warhawk foreign policy, clear as day for all the world to see. No thanks, so let's avoid that one. And by the way, this would have been, about 8 or so years ago? I was barely interested in politics at this point. Hell, I don't think I was even a Trump fan, come to think of it. But I despise Clinton because you can tell she is a legitimately cold-blooded evil psychopath. When Trump won and the Russia thing began kicking off, it took me all of 10 seconds to look at this and go, hey, wait a minute. Bush, 9/11, WMDs, bullshit used to propagandize a country into supporting a foreign war. This is the exact same formula, clear as day. Hell, I could finger this at the drop of a damn dime and I'm an idiot. No one is gonna buy this absurd stupidity. Holy shit, did I miscalculate that one. The most depressing thing about American propaganda is not that it exists, that kind of goes without saying, is that there are people who are actually stupid enough to believe this lowbrow bullshit. The whole Russiagate scandal is a foreign policy version of white supremacy, that's what it is. As it became more and more apparent that this was clearly fictitious bollocks, I didn't think, wow, I have some 120 plus IQ genes over here. No, it was more, fuck me, I'm surrounded by sub 80 IQ rejects over here. What the fuck is going on? That whole time period was surreal. I'd never seen anything like it. And by the way, you guys do realize the whole point of that narrative was to Cold War 2.0 a new generation against Russia. You do realize that, right? That whole gimmick was as much foreign as it was domestic. What was truly bizarre was the complete lack of any conversation, never mind evidence, as to how any of what the Trump administration was tangibly doing was somehow a benefit to Russia. The main gun in Trump's arsenal was energy independence. Can someone please explain to me how on earth Trump releasing more energy into the world markets would somehow benefit a country whose main fiscal weapon is energy exports? Welcome to We Don't Know How Markets Work. Can you imagine going up to someone at the height of Trump's presidency, Low energy prices, no inflation, employment solid, the economy is booming, no new foreign wars, and telling them, yeah, you see how you're doing great right now? Thank Putin and his Kremlin puppet Trump. Really? Wow, Putin seems great. Woo, let's go Russia. And then the idiotic press seems bewildered as to how there is pro-Russian fervor among the American or even Western population. It's because for years you stupid deep state goons blamed everything that was beneficial to the US on the Kremlin, which ironically makes Putin and Russia look oddly pro-America, which is really fucking weird. Makes you think, doesn't it?